waiting around for another set wave. So when this heat is over, the judges will, or the tabulators will gather all the score sheets, and they will huddle up in the conference room, and they will tabulate the scores and put everybody into the semifinals tomorrow. And so we will bring that to you. When are we going to be going live tomorrow, Andre? What do you say?
Well, the plan is 8 o'clock.
So 8 a.m. If you're tuning in right now, check in with us tomorrow, 8 a.m., and we will let you know what is going on. We will have a morning show and give you a heads up as to when the heats will start. And we will check the surf and see what the ocean is doing.
But yeah, tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. We're gonna have some action for you. We can also have some clips from today, some of the highlights. We're gonna have that ready for you. And again, I want to give a shout out. I know a lot of times, like, we are used to watching multi-million-dollar webcasts on television.
Isn't that what this is?
On the web. Yeah, that's right.
Come on.
That's right. So this is what is. That's what exactly what it is in heart and by all our hard work. So I know that.
Sure.
You know, emails from Duke at 4 a.m. and then also the crew here, Eric, Corey, Sean, everybody helping out, trying to make it happen. We're pulling off some magic. So it's just when you have a lot of passion and a big heart, we can make it happen. And we got the webcast being brought to you. So look at that transition all the way on the outside. That looks like maybe an interference.
Brian Gilbert going left at the point. You don't see that very often as Michael Roberts gets the best of this wave.
Whoa,
and does a little top
wow,
turn.
There we go. I think I call that wipeout of the day.
Yeah, I was, I don't know if it was his board. I'm not sure what size board he's on.
I think that nose was just a bit too wide for that turn, and he pearled.
Well, and you saw in the heat prior to this one, Matt Becker, doing turns like that.
On a different board and not purling.
That's right, on a smaller board, and I think it had a little bit of a narrower tail.
Maybe a little bit more rocker as well. So all those things coming into play here.
So
pulled in noses will give you more maneuverability. Will also allow you to avoid purling as much as possible. You can add some rocker to it. So if you surf a beach break or a hollow wave, pull in the nose and add that rocker. You will most likely be safe. However, you'll be less stable. Brandon Rambo is up and riding. He gets another turn. I would tell you, this is his 5th wave, and his wave selection is excellent. So a lot of bump there, as you see, coming from the cliff. Another nice turn. Brandon getting some really nice rides.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I say he's leading the heat right now. Look at that, another nice turn. Brandon, I believe, is taking these heat. I mean, how would you call it?
Well, Brian Gilbert, that wave that he got was pretty amazing.
That cover up was definitely.
That was amazing, and I'm sure the judges, after staring at the ocean all day, and having not seen anyone get barreled, that probably got him pretty psyched. So.
That's the Lions already on the inside here. That's Matt Becker having some free surf session.
Yeah, he didn't get enough. So that wraps it up for the day. That heat is over with. And now it's the free surf session, and Matt Becker just takes the lip to the noggin. And I'm sure he'll come up laughing after that one. So it was a fun day, Andre. Thanks for getting started early and staying late. And tonight we will be crowning our race winners. In fact, I have to go back to Surf Tech and get some of the stuff together for the big after party tonight.
Here's Brandon on that replay, his last wave. I think the last wave of the heat. Nice off the top. Beautiful turn. Got some buckets there. Trying to get around that section. A lot of white water. That's when it gets tricky. And then a fast little section here. Trying to finish it. Another turn.
It's going to be interesting over the next couple of years just to see how the boards change. When you watch guys like Matt Becker and Dave Bainey and Anthony Vela and Zane Schweitzer and those guys surf, I wonder if the boards are going to start sort of switching over to what those guys are riding, and those big noses are going to be more for the guys who have that longboard style.
It's always a trade-off because you go with that pulled-in nose, you do gain the maneuverability, and you can take off later, but you're not as stable, so and you're not as fast. But these guys are fast anyway. You can put them on a stick, and they're gonna be going fast. So it's all, and then also you have to deal with like the pendulum effect. If you're tall and you're too short and too narrow, you might be bobbing back and forth, and that might take some of the fun out of it. It will definitely boost performance, but you also need the wave to back it up and get you up and riding.
That's right.
All these trade-offs, and somewhere in there is your sweet spot, and the only way for you to know it is to get on as many boards as you can, go out in the different conditions, but keep in mind that you're picking the board for your everyday conditions, so make sure you find the right fit.
And these days, for all of you guys out there, take advantage of those opportunities when there's a demo in your neighborhood. I mean, that's the best opportunity to go out there, try every variety of board, and see where it works for you. Because a lot of times you think that a certain board with a certain thickness and a certain width is the ideal board for you. And when you go to a demo, you have the opportunity to try something that you wouldn't normally buy. And sometimes you're surprised that a board that you didn't think would really work for you is actually pretty fun. So it's that's a great opportunity, and it's kind of neat. You know, we're fortunate at Supconnect to work with several different shapers, and you know, they bring a little something different to the table, and then our team riders putting the boards to the test with Matt Becker and Candace Appleby we've seen today, and Jamie Mitchell, and some of our other team riders, Morgan Hostry, and giving us feedback and helping us make different boards that work in different situations and conditions.
But yeah, try it also at your home break. So if you can get one of the boards either rented or a friend or one of the demos and close to your place where you know you're going to surf, make sure you try in the conditions that you typically be surfing in. So I've ridden all kinds of boards. I even got on a 7.6, really pulled in nose, really thin. I was able to float, so that was good.
You were able to float, or you were able to stand on the board?
I was standing and floating, so that was quite impressive. And I caught some waves. It was fun, but again, you know, like there in my backyard, you don't have as much punch, and so I'm riding a 7.6. Yeah, I'm like 6'1", and about 190 pounds on a 7.6 with small surf. Wow. It just it doesn't do it. You know, like if you're riding some of these powerful waves, you got the speed to drive down the line, but you don't want to be doing the Huntington hop, and that's not fun. You want to keep the fun in, because the more fun you have, the more water time you have, right?
Yeah, and it's just that delicate balance, like you were saying. You want a board that's going to be stable enough so you're not entirely focusing on standing on the thing. You know, you want to be able to paddle back out to the lineup and get out there. So if you get on too small of a board, you can't really. That's
right, and do what feels right. And, you know, a lot of times we go through these trends where I remember when I first started stand-up paddling, there were like the boards. My first board was a 10.6, which was considered like cutting edge short for the time. People were coming from the Mickey Munoz 12.6 tandem board.
That was my first board, 12.0.
Yeah, so people were like, okay, this is cutting edge 10.6. And then we went through this phase where everybody wanted to prove shortboarders that, you know, this is cool. So people wanted to go shorter and shorter and shorter. And now, though, it seems that people are starting to come back. So you're seeing some of the boards in the 7.6, 8.0, and 8.6 range. And some people, like in some bigger surf, even riding like 9.0s and sometimes bigger.
Yeah.
So we've gone through this, and don't worry about what people think around you. Get the board that feels right, and because we want you to have fun and spend time in the water. And once you spend more time in the water, then you can tweak from there. But yeah, don't go with the pressure of going with the smallest board, because sometimes fun can turn into funk, and we don't want that.
Don't put any K in your fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Fun, not funk. Well, while we're on the subject of surfing, I'd like to take the opportunity to, for those of you out there that are just getting into stand-up surfing or have been stand-up surfing for a little while, you know, when you go out and surf a spot with your stand-up board, you know, you're not always welcome. And, you know, not necessarily because you're a bad guy or girl, or, you know, but surfers sometimes just don't, well, for one, they, you know, like you were saying earlier, there's not a lot of waves to go around, and it's bad enough that they have to share with their fellow surfing brethren, but then to have a stand-up paddler come out. So everybody who's out there and going out and stand-up paddle surfing, especially right now with the sport being so young, you know, we almost have an obligation to go out there and be good ambassadors for stand-up paddling. And if you go out to a lineup, whether it's your local spot or you're traveling and you go to a new spot, to take the opportunity to call out some sets, and not just call out the sets, but then even let some of those waves go. Let some of the surfers, the traditional surfers, get some of those waves. Even though you can get in on them and you know, take off on a bomb, let some of the prone surfers, the traditional surfers, get some of those waves. And what you give, you'll get back in return. And I think the best opportunity for anybody who's stand-up paddle surfing is to be welcome to the lineup. You want to be welcomed out there. So, you know, we understand it's not fair in some cases that, you know, guys have a problem with stand-up paddle surfers. But we just want to be as good ambassadors as we can out in the lineup. And if you give a few waves and you're not a wave hog and you call out some sets, pretty soon you're an asset. They'd rather have you out there because you're calling out the sets, and then they can paddle out and get a couple of them. You know, but at some point, you know, you just want everybody to be able to coexist out there. And I was in Cardiff last weekend for a demo.
Camp Shred.
Camp Shred. It was a ton of fun. Yeah, we saw Aaron from Supconnect out there, and ton of fun. But there was one guy who was stand-up surfing right in a pack of traditional surfers, and he wasn't playing by the rules. He was catching everything in sight. Guy ripped, but he just made everybody in the lineup eggy, and I mean everybody. And you know, I think he ended up jumping off his board and tried to land on some grom, and you know, maybe that guy rips and he can do that kind of stuff, but he makes it bad for the next guy who paddles out there, and that's not fair. So it's really up to all of us to sort of you know, be good ambassadors and be welcome out in the lineup.
Now, do you want to hear the Dre rule?
Give it to me, Dre.
Okay, so Andre rule here. Local or not, that's how you got to call it. If you're a local and well-respected local, you can join the lineup or be around the lineup. If you're not, find an empty spot, because you do have an advantage, and you also have a bigger board, and it can be dangerous. You got waves, you got surf, you got people sitting down, lying down, and you want to have the respect, like Duke said. You know, you want to have, there is a limited supply of good waves and a lot of people looking for them. So the best thing to do is, if you're starting, or if you already come from a surfing background, the way I do it, and you know, not everybody has to do it, but the way I look at the ocean is, okay, am I a local at this spot? And if the answer is yes, I know everybody there, I can join or be respected, and I will respect the people around them and comfortable enough to competently share the waves with them. If I ask the question, am I local here or not, if I say no, I'll be looking for the inside wave. You know, those waves that nobody's catching, that empty space, and on a stand-up, you're going to have a whole lot of fun there, and you don't need to be, you know, shoulder to shoulder with the guys on the outside. And the chances are that if you don't know them, it's not going to be a pleasant experience, and we all want to be great ambassadors for the sport. That's right. There is absolutely no reason why you should join the lineup when you're not a local at the spot, at the spot, and be really the catching waves. Find the empty spot, and guess what? On a stand-up, a lot of times you can be standing on the inside. You're going to be seeing the sets coming earlier. You'll be able to get out of the way early, and you'll be able to get tons of waves that nobody's catching, but you can catch, and you can have a whole lot of fun out of that. One of the local spots that I surf at, that's exactly what I do. I am a local, but I also look for the empty spot. And the guys are sitting on the outside, the short board break. It's a pretty steep wave. But on the inside, they just can't have as much fun. So I just stand on the inside, and I go to town with like my, I don't know, I think I beat Jeff Clark when I do that. I've got 1,000 wave count.
30 seconds.
And in 30 seconds. And you know what? The guys have a blast because they're sitting on the outside, the set's coming, and they really enjoy that. Yeah. When I do go to the outside, and again, I'm a local there, everybody knows me, but when I do go to the outside, I let them first catch the wave, and then I go with whatever is left over, and people respect that. You know, you got an advantage, you got a bigger board and a paddle, so
yeah,
why not share?
Well, and you know, the bottom line is, we don't want to stop doing this.
Exactly.
We want to keep surfing, and we've all got to work together. And on the snow, snowboarders and skiers, you know, they can coexist. They can ride the same runs and, you know, ride the mountain and all that. So it's important. We want to keep doing that. And if more of us are good ambassadors when we put the paddle in our hands and go out and surf, then we're going to be able to surf more. We're going to be able to surf more waves, more spots, and you know, at the end of the day, we're going to catch more waves and have more fun. So
there you go.
And the guys that are in these heats right now are you know, they're good ambassadors for that. So hey, Andre, I have to get going. We have a party that we need to organize,
and
and
we need to unpack this highly intricate setup here. So we'll probably be here until midnight.
We'll be here till midnight. Well, you guys better be at the party later.
Yeah, we'll try to. We'll try to. There are a lot of wires and cables here, and we don't have a 65-man crew, as some of the webcasters are used to.
We have a 4-man crew.
But we have a 5-man crew with the biggest hearts ever.
Yeah,
ever. So I'm stoked. Guys, thanks everybody for joining in. We'll be bringing more action to you live tomorrow in HD, the world's first on-location HD broadcast. Brought to you by Surftech, presented by Supconnect, and in conjunction with Supconnect, and a lot of our sponsors, Bark, Quick Blade, Ocean Minded, Oakley. We had the instant replay brought to you by Oakley, and also all our partnering media publications there, like Subsurf Mag, Sup Gladiator, Sup Racer, and Sup Journal. So shout outs to everyone out there, and stay tuned tomorrow. You can already watch some of the videos on demand from the race and also the surf contest. Just go to our Ustream channel on just look it up, Ustream Supconnect, and you'll be able to watch a lot of the videos on demand. Also tomorrow, if you can't be in front of the laptop or the desktop computer, just pull out your smartphone, download the Ustream app, and look for the Supconnect channel. The hashtag for this event is SurfTechSO13. That is hashtag SurfTechSO for Shootout 13. Today is the first day of the live webcast, the second day of the event. Earlier today we had the race. You just finished watching here the surf contest. And tomorrow we're going to be coming back to you live 8 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, with more surf action all the way from the Surftech Shootout. Again, I want to thank Surftech and also all of the Supconnect sponsors. All of the hard work we do is only possible due to thanks to all of our sponsors. So you want to go on Supconnect and also check out the brands there and all the other companies and give them some love. So on that note, this is the Surftech Shootout with the live webcast brought to you by Supconnect with our small crew here, but with a big heart. And hopefully you enjoy this. Leave some feedback. We would love to hear from you. This is the world's first on-location HD webcast. And we are stoked to have been the first to bring it to you in studio with Candace Appleby, and now the first to bring it to you live on location. So thanks a lot for watching us. We'll look for your feedback online and also to catching up with you tomorrow. On that, I will send you off and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Hey, I'm Duke. I work in the marketing